Again, my name is Shane, and welcome to the 89 Garage. Today I'm going to be doing spark plugs on this 2007 Toyota Yaris. This is actually one of the easiest spark plug jobs you can do. For today's adventure, we'll call it, I'm going to be using Denso, the Iridium power plugs. These come pre-gapped, so I'm not going to worry about gapping them. Also, you're going to need a deep 10mm socket to get the engine cover off of this. And these plugs, these are 5/8 plugs. They are not metric. So what I usually do is I usually use two sockets, two 5/8 sockets. I usually keep the rubber plug in one of them to help in removing the old plug, and then to put the new plugs back in, I actually have another socket that I've removed that from. What that does is it keeps you from fishing your socket back out of the cylinder head after you've tightened the plug down. I've found that works very, very well. If you've ever experienced that before, it's not so bad if it's like a small block 302 or something like that, or a 350 or something like that, where you can just pull it off by hand. But when it's deep down in the head like that and you get your socket stuck down there, or the rubber plug will come off and stay stuck on the plug, this just eliminates that hassle altogether. I also like to get the proper torque setting on the plugs when I'm tightening them. Today, Toyota spec is around 14 foot-pounds, and for that I usually like these old school torque wrenches that have the gauge on them. It's a lot easier when you're in a smaller number like this. Most click torque wrenches don't go down to that low, to 14 foot-pounds. Another tool that I use this for modular Fords. I use this for the Duratec 4-cylinders that Ford makes. I also use it here. Pretty much any head that has the spark plugs deep down inside, deep in the well, and not, like I said before, like a small block Chevy or small block Ford where it's just on the side. This works out really well. What this does is you put the plug inside this hose. This is 5/16 fuel line. You stick it inside of there, and then you start your threads from up here like this. What that does, that keeps you from cross-threading. It keeps you from, basically it moves your touch of the spark plug from here, down on the spark plug up to here. And you can feel if you're cross-threading, you can feel if there's a problem. Relatively easy. And it's also easy to get it back out if you need to. So this is pretty much just extending your fingers down inside of there. It's pretty, you kind of have to feel it to know what I'm talking about, but it works very, very well. I'm going to actually move the camera, bring you in a little bit closer, and get you involved here. Alright, hopefully that's a little bit better of an angle. We're going to start out with a 10mm. You have 1, 2, 3, and 4 nuts to take off. These two on the front, I usually just loosen them up because the cover is slotted. You really don't require you to take them all the way off. The top two have to come all the way off, however. parts holder right there. Toilet conveniently put in for me. Just take this cover and set it aside. Get it out of your road. And then on these, Toyota went, so I don't know how they, I assume it's 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know how they numbered their cylinders. But it goes black, gray for the plug. So black and gray out of this harness, that part of the harness goes to 1 and 2. Black, gray goes to 3 and 4 out of the second part of the harness. Let me just take this here. Push that little tab. Should come out eventually. Oh, you kidding me? Maybe we'll circumvent that process altogether. These here actually look like they pulled a fast one on me. Oh no, they are 10. For a minute, look like they're 8mm. I owned mostly Fords until I got this Toyota. So my 12mm sockets were pretty much untouched, and my 14mm sockets were untouched until I got this car. Now they're dirty. Usually, I'm listening to some music right now, but you know, I don't want to get any copyright infringement stuff going on. That just might be too long. So that's a 10 incher there. Let's see about this 6. That's just perfect right there. Let's put her in the reverse mode. Like I said, it's only 14 foot-pounds on these. They don't require a ton of torque. You don't want to strip out the threads in the head and have to go in there with a time insert or Calvin insert or whatever to patch this thing up. Just do it right. Just go slow, take your time. A little bit white. Maybe she's run a little bit lean. These here are NGKs that I'm pulling out of it. Hopefully you can see that. Hopefully you can see that. There's a little bit of ash on them. Maybe not. They're probably somewhat normal. These actually don't have very many miles on them, and I bought these off of Amazon, and I suspect that these are the knockoff plugs everybody's been talking about lately, because I'm gonna do a check, because these do not look like original Japanese made NGKs to me. I think I got took on those. These here these are Densos. Got these from Rock Auto. I do believe that the original plugs Toyota used in these were NGKs. But if you look around this motor, there's Denso on everything in here. These here look like the real deal for Denso. You may want to look this up, there are also Densos that are being faked. There are also Motorcrafts that are being faked right now. You'll find them for four plugs or 8 plugs for a killer deal on Amazon or eBay, and you get them and they're faked. They're not. There are some videos I've seen on YouTube where it shows the packaging differences, the print being different on the plugs. You might want to check that out. Anyway, so here's my 5/16 hose. I've just inserted the tip a little bit there and just put it right down in there. Just feel it. Thread right in. Okay, it's just like being hand tight there. We'll move to this 5/8. Oh, for heaven's sakes. So we take this here. If you've never used one of these, I'll try and get you in a little bit. Okay, and hopefully, I'm just going to take that to right before the 15. Yeah, let's move this over here a wee bit more. See that? We're going to take this right before the 15 and bam, there it is. That cylinder is done. Once you go back my socket. And stick that right back down in there. And these just need a very, I usually get them hand tight, do a quarter turn, they're done. Those will go nowhere on you. Okay. You can also do it like this. I've done it both ways. I don't know why these things don't want to come off today. You can also just leave that plugged in if you want. I'll show you both ways. That bolt, this here, can actually pop out and just sit right there. No big deal. Either way works. Socket that's got the rubber plug in it. So a little story about this car. I actually got this from a family member who bought it new. And I'll be honest with you, I used to make fun of this car a lot. You know, a little Easter egg or whatever you want to call it, but it's actually a pretty good little car. About the same story on these plugs, so pretty consistent. Even though they're knockoff plugs, I believe. seem to have done okay. Yeah, these here are really decent plugs. I've used them on other things before. They really perform well. I don't know if you can hear all that thunder and lightning and rain right now, but I was going to do some other stuff before this with the other vehicle, but this turns out to work out a little bit better for the weather. And here we are again with the rubber hose, starting this plug out in the head. And right about there, she's snug. And we go back to this socket. That in there. This is the socket that has no rubber plug in it. Let me show you what I mean by the rubber plug. So that rubber plug right there, when I pull this out, it's stuck in there. Let me go back this one really quick and just show you that this here is not, that falls right out. So this allows you to just pull your socket straight out without losing your rubber plug or your socket being stuck down there. Just makes things a little easier for me, makes the job a lot quicker. Okay. Here we are again. Stop just before the 15. Not quite there yet. And as soon as we hit that line, maybe a little bit more. Bam. And those, forgot about that. Those are torqued factory spec now. Sorry about the camera situation. I don't know. I'm not a good cameraman. So here we go back. Just plop that bad boy back in there like that. Again, let's tighten this up as far as you can go by hand. And quarter turn, she's all done. And move on, we're halfway there. Living on a prayer. I mean, really and truly, you could have this done in 20 minutes if you're not listening to me. Okay, and we're going to move back to our socket width. Keep doing that. Sometimes it takes me about a whole entire V8 to figure out which combination to use, so we probably won't get that here. Here we are again. Things falling around. My shelf's getting kind of full here. Hopefully all this makes sense. If you have any questions too, or if you have a different way of doing it, throw it down in that comment box. Let's see if we can all help each other out. just because this is the way I'm doing it doesn't mean it's the only way or the right way for that matter. Again, on this plug, we're consistent 3 for 3. They look the same. If you're like me, we have an abundance of Amazon boxes around the house. So you got lots of places to put garbage. Alright, here we go. 1, 2, 3, back on here like so. And I bring that right down inside the cylinder head. Tighten her up. As you can by hand, and there she is. When you get it all the way tight, this actually kind of crawls up, and you can kind of feel it trying to come back off. It's a very, very awesome method, in my opinion. A little bit more tight with that. See, I can get it tighter with this. The thing that's nice is, you know, this flexes, so it doesn't really, it really reduces your chances of stripping the threads. And in my opinion, it's the easiest way of doing it. But like I say, you might have a better way that makes more sense to you, or, you know, leave that down in the box. Comment on it. Tell me what you think. And we're about 12 right there. Not a V8, so I'm not there yet. Alright. That's probably easier to leave that plug on there now that I'm thinking about it. I started working on cars because, well, there's a few reasons actually. Number one, I'm a tightwad. I don't like paying somebody else to do something that I can do. And then quarter turn, maybe just a titch more. Yeah, I don't know why I put that down. I need it again for right here. Alright, we are on the final approach, final countdown. Now, one thing I should also mention, that if you've noticed, none of these are oil soaked. If you pull these off and these are oil soaked, there's a high chance that you've got a leaky valve cover gasket. This has about 173,000 miles on it, so it's probably not too far off from starting to leak on me. I have a 2.3 Escape, the 2006 that I've talked about in another video, and that actually has about 230,000 miles on it. It runs wonderful, but it leaks, and when that leaks, you can foul a plug, you can actually ruin the coil too. Did I already pull that plug out? Nope. Why is that not going on there? Sometimes I get talking, forget what I'm doing. You'll notice that. Easy peasy coming out of there. This is actually the third time I've done these plugs. I've done a couple other things on this car, but for the most part it's been pretty solid. When my family member owned it, I put rear, I don't even remember if there's struts or shocks on the back of this. I think they're shocks. But I replaced those. Again, that plug looked the same as the other ones, so I'm not overly concerned about any problems. If it was completely black or completely white, I would be concerned about air-fuel mixture. See right there? That was trying to cross thread on me. And it still is. So I just back it off a little bit and start over. There she goes. This is extremely handy on the Ford 4.6s and 5.4s and 6.8s, all those modular motors. Let's see, where are we? Here we are. Get your head in the game. There. Get on there. About 12 right there. And 14. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I don't know if you saw that flash right there, but I believe this weather's about to maybe give us a power outage. I don't know if you can hear the rain or. Okay, she's snug in. Drop that quarter turn. Well, there's that. Now we can go back and get our engine cover. Throw it back on. Remember, we left these two on, so you've got to put it in those slots right there. At the same time, get those holes in. 2 nuts right here. Still got her in the tighten position. Bam. Not the same there, just quarter turn past tight. Maybe not even quite a quarter. There she is. Move these things out of the road. Quickly start her up, make sure there's no missing. I really want to help people out, and I hope that you will keep tuning in. And there are other mechanics that I watch also on YouTube, and they have cars that I'll never own, never probably may never even work on. But I still like to see their techniques. I like to see if they have anything that I can make useful, and I'll try to give those guys props when I remember that I've learned stuff from them. And once again, I really appreciate you watching, and I hope you'll keep continuing to tune in and like, share, subscribe, and hit the dingy bell so you can see when I put up new videos. Take care, and ta-ta.